Welcome back everyone. This week I'm out with Derek and Steve and we're doing a nice wet ride in some single trails. So I was going to take today to talk about the differences moving from a dual sport to an enduro bike. So I'm moving from the CRF 250L over to the Beta 250RR. They're both 250s, but they are wildly different bikes. The CRF is a dual sport 4-stroke, whilst the Beta 250 is a enduro race bike, to put it frankly. Not that I ride at particularly quick race speeds, but that's what it is. So I wanted to go over some of my thoughts on what the biggest impressions were, having now hit 50 hours on the Beta this year. I wouldn't have said I've outgrown the 250L. The CRF is brilliant. It's a super basic, super fun, super reliable bike, and I would recommend it in a heartbeat to pretty much anyone who wants to get into off-roading. It's absolutely brilliant. It's not too tall. It's so easy to look after. But I was getting to the point where I was like, I want to try and push my skills a little bit more. I want to learn a little bit easier. I want to start trying to learn some more advanced stuff. And the CRF probably would have made things a little bit tougher. So first off, with the Beta, the weight is just a league different. The wet weight is supposedly for the Beta 228 pounds, which is like 110 kilo, and the CRF is supposedly 320 pounds, which is about 145, 150 kilo. And obviously with the CRF I've put some bits on the back, added skid plates, added bark busters, so this all increases the weight. Even though I did a tail tidy which reduces the weight slightly, overall the weight's definitely gone up. And yes, of course, I've added stuff as well to the Beta, so the weight has gone up equally. But with the lighter weight, this bike is just so much easier to handle. It's so much more flickable and versatile. When I drop it, it doesn't feel like anything to pick it up. I feel like I could just kick the Beta up. I don't even have to try. And when you couple that with the more power, the more torque, and the other factors, it's just so much easier to ride. It's especially easy to ride through the woods. Now, another benefit of the Beta is that it's not anywhere near as hot. This might sound like a strange thing, but when you're riding around in Ontario in the summer, some days it'll get to about high 30s out, and then you add the humidity factor in, and now you're into the 40s. And if anyone's American, I don't know what Fahrenheit that is. I'm talking centigrade. So you're in the 40s here, and you're just roasting your nuts off. And when you're sat on the CRF, you have heat pumping up. Oh my god, it's so unbelievable. But with the carburetted 2-stroke, honestly, there is little to no heat, and it makes a massive difference to the comfort of my day, which I am very happy with, to be honest. It's noticeable. Maybe in other climates I wouldn't care, this wouldn't be a selling point, but to me here, genuinely is a lovely feeling to not have your nads fucking roasted. Another benefit of the Beta is that the suspension is leagues better. It's night and day difference between the Beta and the CRF. I can't even begin to try and describe the difference, really. The whole system is tweakable on the Beta for a start, so you can play with settings and change it to whatever you like, whilst the CRF is here you go, you've got this, it's soft and it will bottom out constantly if you try anything that is vaguely ambitious, to put it kindly. I'm really not even that good of a rider, it just literally doesn't take that much to do it. Another good thing about the Beta is its brakes. They are fucking savage. I pull those front brakes on, that bike is stopping really fast, and sure, it caught me out the first time I rode. I bloody lost the front end because I pulled the brakes on too hard and then crashed and hurt my wrist. But I haven't done it for the rest of the season, and honestly, the brakes are phenomenal. They're really, really confidence-inspiring. So when I package all of this together, this really brings me round to think that the Beta is very confidence-inspiring, and as a result, I feel like I've been able to progress much, much quicker when I've gone out to dedicatedly practice stuff than I would have ever achieved on the CRF. Perhaps it's because even just picking it up after I've crashed, or dropped it, or failed, I'm not as exhausted, and you couple all of these together, and I genuinely believe that changing this bike has made a huge difference to my riding progress this year. So obviously it's not all bells and whistles moving over to a dirt bike, an enduro bike from the dual sport. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. There is a lot of negatives and a lot of costs. One of the biggest ones to start off with is its maintenance. It needs a lot of maintenance. It's a fucking queen. It needs it needs air filters all the time. You're washing them, you're cleaning them. You've got 3 on the cycle just so that there's always something clean to put in there. It needs a lot of oil changes. I've had to be swapping the spark plug a couple of times. I actually fouled one plug and then I swapped another one before a race because I just wanted it to be fresh, effectively. I think it fouled at about 27 hours. There's also, I have to be more careful with the cleaning and more vigilant with its cleaning to make sure that the parts stay good. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not getting too much dirt into the parts where that need to be greased. So I've been trying to clean out parts and grease them way more frequently than I would with the CRF. The CRF is just look at it and it's yeah, it's fine. Just spray some grease in it and it's good to go. It's honestly just totally fine. So I've been really having to keep a lot of maintenance going, but this maintenance isn't even the big stuff yet. This is all super surface level stuff. I haven't even got to the 100 hours where I'm starting to have to check the pistons and all this sort of stuff, which isn't even a thing on the CRF. I think that thing could just run for pretty much forever until the sun supernovas. Then you might have to check something on that bike. They're a world different in requirements. But for the first 50 hours, changing oil, changing filters, it's not a huge deal, in my opinion, for what I get. It is definitely worth it so far. But it has other negatives. It's not dual sport. Anybody who rides this on the road is an absolute lunatic. It is horrific. Just even short pavement hops between trails, you've got rim locks. It's so sketchy because it's a 2-stroke. It's super light on the road. It feels horrific. I would never recommend it. It's kind of I can do it because I just need to get between A and B, and then you want to be back out onto the trails. Yeah. So then the next thing is it's really expensive. One, the bike is way more expensive. Let's not beat around that bush. Then you kind of need the house attachment. So I don't have a house, don't have a garage, which means I have to incur a lot of extra expenses as I need to rent spaces and store my bike away from where I live, so that because there's no way I can have it where I live in a condo. It would be stolen in about 15 fucking seconds. So yeah, you need the house attachment. So you'll just throw $1 million on that, and then you at least need a car that can tow it. So I have to have a car and I need a trailer. I mean, if I had a different car, I could mount the bike straight to the back, of course, but I don't. So yes, the costs mount up fast. So that is one of the biggest downsides. However, back to the positives. This bike, like I said, is a race bike, and this year I got out racing for the first time in my life. Proper racing. None of that. Everybody there is to race, so that was a life goal, and I am so happy that I've managed to do it. I'm so happy that my girlfriend encouraged me to do it and has been supporting me through it. So that whole aspect makes it worth it to me straight away, and I absolutely love the racing. I'm shit at it, but I love it. I can't wait to get back, and at the races I meet so many cool people. I've met countless amazing people this year, and I can't wait to meet more great people next year and see all the friendly faces again this year. And I want to get out riding with some of the people that I've met, and it's just, this community is so good. I really love the Ontario's off-road community. The people here are just so kind and so wonderful. I don't think I've met one person I dislike yet. That's just incredible to me. I just love it. So yeah, I think that will probably wrap up my thoughts on changing from a dual sport to an enduro bike and my first 50 hours. Yes, I know I could race on the CRF 250L.
We did it.
No, I'm not going to race on the CRF 250L. So I think that's where I'm going to end the video for today.
Now, but...
Thanks. See ya.